It's quite an interesting process, the collaborative process.
I think the idea of a community collaborative, particularly here in Ashington, where nobody had probably done anything like this before, I think that's a really good idea to get community sort of cohesion.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant. I mean, the idea of this project is that the people who are part of it feel like they are generating the ideas, and everybody feels passionately about where they live.
At the start, we didn't know whether it was going to be a radio, a theatre, a mini film. We hadn't got a clue.
We had no idea what it was. The idea was that it was going to be multi-generational.
When I found out about this, I'm like, oh, finally, something's going on in the North East. I'll join in.
It's just an experience for everybody, you know. I've done a lot of stuff, but I've never done anything like this before.
We just shared ideas in one way or another, and it was eventually decided that we would produce a radio play.
People have been so full of ideas, so full of imagination, completely wacky, some of it, which has been a total joy. And yeah, everyone's thrown themselves in. And I think it feels like, for me, a project where the participants, the people who were involved in it, have loads of ownership over it.
It's not based off some place in America, it's not based some posh place, it's based off somewhere I've grown up, and it's based on real issues that I understand.
I just think there are too many negatives that are portrayed about the region generally, and this is a way of promoting something that's very positive.
This is good for the area because it gives us something to relate to, so we understand what's going on, and it kind of speaks for other people who can't speak as much.
We have a group of writers who've been working together. We've been throwing around some ideas, and we're at an interesting stage where we've got the first 2 episodes written of 3. It's simultaneously very exciting but very scary because we don't know where it's going to go, and I'm sure we're going to have some heated discussions about what direction the story goes in next.
There are 15 or 20 people next door taking sections of the script and reading through them and working on them to see if they'll work.
The most challenging part has been that writing process of when you kind of get to crunch points, so I want this to happen with the storyline, or somebody else wants something else to happen.
It can be very frustrating because you might think you've got a wonderful idea, but if a group on for it, then you have to go with democracy, don't you? And you have to agree to what the majority want to do.
For the final episode, what we need to do to make it more coherent is that everybody has a reasonable journey.
Yeah,
and it's all about drama's all about change, isn't it?
Yeah.
So people start with one thing, they want something, things get in the way. And one of the great things about working collaboratively is that you see that one idea sparks off the creativity of somebody else, so that, and that journey is a journey that they wouldn't have made by themselves. So it's one person has a great idea and suddenly somebody sees their character or a scene that they were writing in a completely different light, and it takes them off on a more interesting creative journey.
Things kind of disappear and come back again, so characters completely disappear from the story, and then weeks or months later it's suddenly, now we've got the spot for that person, or now we can use that idea that we kind of threw away.
That's a lot of lines.
Yes, a fraction of this before. I'm starting to freak out a bit now.
So let's do that again. Feel free to, because we're just playing around with it, feel free to go off script when you want to. I'm quite a visual theatre director, so I think a lot about how things look and how things look on stage, and so just kind of concentrating on the sound stuff has been really interesting for me, and that's a challenge.
So many people have put so much effort into this over the past year or so, and the project's grown from nothing, and we're developing this play, soon going to be completed. It's really good, but if nobody listens to it, then we'll get something out of it. But in a way, what's the point? So we want a strategy that works, that gets people who we know would be interested if they knew about it to hear it.
We've now got 3 scripts. We've incorporated everybody's ideas, hopefully, in those scripts, and we're about to read out all of the scripts for the first time in their entirety. So it's very exciting, equally kind of scary and exciting at the same time. I've tried to pull together and incorporate everyone's ideas in the script. Obviously, not everybody has the same ideas, so sometimes we have to have lively discussion about what stayed in and what didn't go in, but I think we've reached an amicable conclusion.
What we have is a finished script, and that's basically being brought here today because there were a lot of edits last time as we were going through pieces of the scenes.
So we've done all the final tweaks and adjustments and taken a few things out and then put a few things back in again, and we've got all that all finalised.
What's been interesting is watching these professionals actually helping individuals and groups in terms of voice and interpretation of words, phrases and so on, and you can see the development of just ordinary people actually taking on roles.
Splendid.
It's just seeing something come to fruition, and it's not just ideas or something you kind of scribble down for yourself, but it's actually there's going to be an end product, and seeing it through from beginning to end is really exciting.
Everything we're doing, I hope, is of the highest standard there could be anywhere in the country. That's what I think we should be aiming for.
What we'd like you to do is hold your paper nice and high so that your mouth is pointing at that way.
We're in the YMCA, where we are utilising their very good recording studio facilities to record our play. We're going to spend 3 Saturdays from 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock recording 3 episodes of a play that we've spent over a year devising.
To go to a place like this and go along with it till the end, because most projects I've been in have dissolved within a month maybe, but no, this has just kept on going on. And it's been really, really quite interesting to see something as big as this go on.
So if you can give us a line or two, please.
We've got 3 episodes to get through with about 50 scenes. It's been a great experience working with everybody and starting with nothing and watching this script kind of evolve and this story emerge each week before me. Each week I get sent new drafts, and then I get to come in and work with these wonderful people who are interested in sound and how sound can tell a story.
The intensity is there. People know that it matters now, that okay, you can have a few takes, but this is going to be like the final version ultimately. This is what's going to go out, so that gives a bit more kind of tension and excitement to it all.
Foley in a nutshell is using objects to make sound effects. The Foley sound effect that we've used in our workshops is that of making a car screech sound. We buy a £2 hot water bottle and we can do the job in the studio.
It's been really great to kind of work through something like from before anybody had any idea of what we were going to do right through, and then getting closer and closer to having a finished thing that everyone's going to hopefully listen to and enjoy.
This is the last day of recording. We've done 2 full days of recording already. So after today, it's going to be a wrap. We're going to have finished it all, and then it will go into post-production where all the sound effects and all of that will be added afterwards, after we've got all the dialogue recorded.
Everyone's so cheery and everyone's so encouraging, just moral boost in every way.
Everyone's speaking to everybody. Everybody's sort of joined in together, and it's a little community within the community. We always stop and talk to each other if we see each other on the street, and it's fabulous. Where we've all come from, everybody, I mean, happy as out now, you know. A bit of Geordie going in, happy as out now.
We have brought a whole lot of diverse people together. It's provided a great opportunity for people of all ages to get involved in new experiences. From that, of course, comes confidence. And some of these young people have gained so much in confidence over the process of the working. It's been absolutely fantastic.
I've definitely had a boost. It's the thought of doing something for the community, in the community. Along with Koast Radio, where it's getting actually broadcast, it's just been a wonderful experience to go with.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.